Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. It's Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. It's Fab Friday. It worked. Ooh, it's Friday, y'all. Y'all come up on in here and let us give y'all a little game for this fabulous Friday. Can you make sure that my sound is on? Let's make sure that. Can you click on there and make sure my sound is on? What's up, family? See how beautiful of a day it is behind me. This is the day that the Lord has made. We good? You ought to rejoice and be glad in it. I want you to tag somebody. I want you to invite some family members and friends. I want you to tell Lolly Dolly, everybody, Jesus is popping. You are popping. We popping. And we getting ready to go into the month of November with a supernatural manifestation and materialization of everything God has promised us and prophesied to us. Just in case you don't see the description on this live, whether you on Facebook, whether you on IG, whether you on LinkedIn, whether you on Periscope, whether you on YouTube, especially all my YouTubers, all of my YouTubers, I need you to help us push past 1,000 subscribers. How many we got right now, Moan? We got almost 850 subscribers on YouTube. So another 150 of y'all, if you just run over to YouTube and click, what is it, the bell? Click the subscribe button. Come on, help your boy out on this Friday. Help us to end October strong. We are pushing to have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We actually have a lot of good activity on YouTube. We've had, just within the last few weeks, how many people we've had to reach out to us with coaching, whether it's for our blueprint products. We've had people to call us inquiring about our School of Prophets Masters program on just from YouTube. So please, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube page. Make sure that you're following us on LinkedIn. I think we got over 6,000 followers on LinkedIn. Praise God, we're doing an amazing job on LinkedIn. Almost over 6,000 people. We have quite a few people that are following us on Periscope, I believe, IG. Got a couple thousand of you that are following us and that are supporting us there. And of course, on our personal Facebook page, I'm gonna need my charger for both of these. Oh, I'm gonna need my charger for this one before it go out. But we just launched a new Facebook page and IG page, RP Consulting Group, RP Consulting Group. So please make sure that you follow our RP Consulting Group page. And if you are a blueprint client, that means if you're currently participating, hey Harriet, how you doing over here on IG? If you're currently participating in our blueprint program as a client right now, I want you to make sure that you make your way over to RP Consulting Group, the Facebook page and the IG page. I want you to follow us, and I want you to leave some feedback. We're getting some amazing feedback from so many of our consulting clients, our blueprint clients. We even had a few people who have received coaching in the past and that are receiving it now, that are raving about what God is doing through our marketplace ministry. Remember, y'all, everything that I share with regard to our business blueprints, everything that I share with regard to financial literacy, entrepreneurship, business ownership, ministry leadership, investments, all of this information, all of this data that I share, all of this content that I distribute on a daily basis with regard to biblical economics is actually a part of the economic arm of my personal prophetic ministry. So just because I am sharing a lot of content on economics does not mean that it's not a part of my ministry. But anyway, make sure that you follow the pages, make sure that you subscribe, hit the bell, make sure that you leave us some feedback. Let us know how the information we're sharing is helping you. And I want to take a few minutes today to talk to you about how to pivot and prosper in a pandemic. I mean, just in case the people you know been under a rock, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We've been in this pandemic for 7 months now. I can remember the Sunday. Daughter, you remember that Sunday that we was leaving church? I think we went to over here to Phipps Plaza to eat. And on your birthday, yeah, we were celebrating your birthday, girl. Yeah. How old you was? 25. Yeah. You was celebrating your 24th anniversary. Exactly. 20 something anniversary. Yeah. All right, we ain't gonna let you go too far. Yeah, I'm about to lose life over here on my MacBook. But anyway, I can remember back in March, we sitting there and we listening to the news. Oh yeah, we need another plug. But we sitting there, right? And we talking about, this news of, it just came on. Thank you. We sitting there talking about this news of this coronavirus. This is back in March. It was March 15th, I think. That was a Sunday. And like the next day, shut down. The whole nation was like, and we like, what's going on? Y'all better go to the store, get y'all some food, because everything is shutting down. That was 7 months ago, y'all. Now, Dr. Fauci, a lot of people know him. He's been on the news for the past several months. Him and a lot of other medical experts, he just did an interview the other day. And there are other medical experts that just came out behind him to basically concur and to highlight and emphasize what he said in the interview. And basically what they're saying from a medical expert perspective is that the pandemic is going to go through 2022. 2022. So they're basically saying from a medical perspective, even with impending vaccinations, that we're still going to, quote unquote, be in pandemic mode. Wow. Right. Did y'all hear that? I don't want you to miss what I just said. So all of the top medical experts are saying clearly that even with the vaccinations that are projected to come out, we still gonna be in a pandemic. It's still gonna be pandemic mode. But watch this. Here's the nuance. This is why I'm bringing it up. I got a hook. Here's the nuance. Come on, help us. Here's the Friday flavor. We may technically be in the quote unquote pandemic mode into 2022. But here's the nuance. That may be from a medical perspective. It may not necessarily be from an economic perspective. Now, there are going to be some economic ramifications, some negative backlash that comes. But here's my point. Look at the description. Look at the topic of the discussion today. How to pivot and prosper in a pandemic. So just because, let's say, for example, we may very well be in a medical pandemic beyond 2020, maybe beyond 2021. We might not see the end of this medical aspect of the pandemic till 2022. If these medical experts are right, it doesn't mean you have to stay stuck economically in the pandemic. Because from a spiritual perspective, we can easily see God is blessing his people in the midst of this pandemic. I have seen more people blessed. I've seen more people given opportunities. And we ain't just talking about through PPP loans and EIDL loans. I'm just saying from the perspective of God's people leaning into what they see as an opportunity, as opposed to some people seeing it as an obstacle. So if this pandemic, from a medical perspective, perpetuates into 2022, whether it does or not, you still got to know how to pivot and prosper. And the reason why I'm saying pivot and prosper, because pivoting is a play on words, because you see it on a basketball court. So when somebody has the ball and they've already dribbled and they can't move no more, they dealing with either an obstacle to stay stuck and pass, or they're dealing with an opportunity to move around and pivot. You get what I'm saying? And so I want you, especially those of you that are a part of the faith community, I want you to know how you should pivot and prosper. Because I don't want you to just be busy pivoting and not handling your business prospering. So how do you pivot and how do you prosper in this pivot in the midst of this pandemic? And when I say pivoting and prospering, I'm not just talking about the medical aspect of what's going on. Of course, you just need to protect yourself. You need to wear a mask. Politically, you need to go vote. You need to participate in the political process. Culturally and socially, you need to engage the culture and the society. You need to you need to help be a part of the solution from a spiritual perspective, from a political perspective, from a cultural and social perspective. But from an economic perspective, what are you going to do to pivot and prosper in this pandemic? Well, I'm going to give you 3 things that you must do, and I'm going to see how these 3 things help you. Number one, the first thing you must do in order to pivot and prosper in this pandemic, we're talking about economic pivoting and prospering. The first thing that you must do is you must package. The operative word there is package, IG. The operative word there is package. YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Periscope, all of my family members and tribe members and friends, everywhere you are. The first thing you must do in order to pivot and prosper in this pandemic economically is you must package. I want you to write that down. I want you to take good notes today. What do you mean package? Well, you have to package all of the intellectual assets that are at your disposal. What are the intellectual assets you have at your disposal? Your time, your skill, your talent, your money. You got to package your abilities. You got to package all of the ideas that you have, all of the relationships that you have. And I'm not necessarily saying that everything you do and everything you got to monetize. But at the same time, you can't just have all of the intellectual assets at your disposal and you're not packaging them in a way that you can actually introduce them to the market, introduce them to the world to see some level of monetization. Because this is a part of your pivot. This is a part of your prosperity. You being able to take the ideas that you have, right? You being able to take the knowledge that you have. You being able to take the skill set that you have, and you're able to package those things in a way that you can actually introduce them to the marketplace in the form of a product, in the form of a service, and see some level of monetization. Because if you're just limited to, let's say, unemployment in this pandemic, if you're just limited to, let's say, savings in this pandemic, if you just limited to, let's say, a job that does not give you the certainty and the security that you might need and would have had if you were not in this pandemic, if you're just limited to those few things, then that means you're not taking the time to pivot so that you can prosper in this pandemic. Because you have ideas. All you have to do is take those ideas and package those ideas in a way that they look like a product and service so that you can at least introduce them to the marketplace. That's going to be your responsibility. I don't know why this thing here is kind of like flashing red and yellow. Is it something with the wiring? Say what? My screen. Yeah, you need to check that cord. Just make sure the cord is plugged up correctly. It's kind of. Yeah. What? Yeah, I don't know. Hey, we gonna pivot and prosper today. Yeah, it's the computer. It might be this software or something that we're using, but nevertheless, we're gonna make it do what it do. So the first thing you must do to pivot and prosper in this pandemic is you must package. I want you to take the time out to write down and to just identify and itemize all the intellectual assets that you have. What type of relationships that you have that you can actually package in the form of products and services. When I say relationships, you might know somebody who wants to buy something, and you might know somebody who wants to sell something. Well, your relationship can actually be packaged in a way that you can bring it together. In real estate, it's called wholesaling, but at least you can do it. What are some other ways you can package intellectual assets? Think about all the items that you got in your house that you just need to be selling. You need to package those items and sell them, get rid of them so that you can monetize it. Even if you're not doing anything with the money except saving it, this is a part of your pivot for your prospering in this pandemic. Packaging, here's another word I want to give you for this first thing that you must do. Packaging involves development. Packaging involves development. Most Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 and just most major corporations around the world, they have what they call R&D divisions in their companies. And these R&D divisions are like research and development divisions. And these divisions are like exclusively set aside with money that has been earmarked for them to do research and development. In other words, for them to go into the marketplace and play a little bit. Well, if they're going to go in the marketplace and play a little bit, guess what they got to do? They got to package those ideas. They got to take those concepts and package them. They have to package them in the form of products and services just to see if they can get some activity, just to see if they can get some attention. You'd be surprised that all the people you got in your phone right now, if you just took the ideas and the products and the services and the concepts that you have and the things that you might place a monetary value on, and you just package them in a way that you can actually bring them to the marketplace. You'd be surprised if you just sent a message to everybody in your phone and said, listen, I am preparing to introduce this product, introduce this service to the market, but I wanted to get your feedback. I wanted to get your take on it. I wanted to see what you felt about it and what you think about it first. Click this link, take a look at my landing page, or just click this link and take a look at this PDF form that I put together, or whatever it is. It could just be a picture or a snapshot of something that you have. You'd be surprised at how many people might actually respond positively because you were willing to do what? You were willing to take what you had as intellectual property and package it. So packaging involves development. The second thing you must do to pivot and prosper in a pandemic is you must produce. You must produce. So think about all the inventory you got. I love when I talk to people who selling stuff like products, whether it's clothes or apparel or whether it's other products and services, especially products. I love when I talk to people and they tell me, well, I got 100 of these in my garage. So that means you've packaged the product, but you haven't taken it to the marketplace to produce something with the product. Okay, so you got this idea, you know this thing will sell, or you got this product and service and you know this thing will sell, and you ain't told nobody about it. You just holding these ideas in your big old head. It ain't gonna do nothing in your head. You gotta take that product from head and put it in hand and introduce it to the marketplace. So you must produce. You must produce. Here's a simple process that I can give you to help define and describe the importance of producing. You got to go from idea to packaging the product to the market. That's how quick you got to do it. I'm gonna leave that right there for a minute, because somebody gonna just miss that and wait the next Tuesday to catch it. Did you hear what I said? You got to go from idea. You got to go from idea. You got to go from idea in your big old head to packaging the product that came from the idea, and you got to go to the market. Ain't nobody got time to be waiting to 2022 to see if what the idea is will actually work. You don't have that kind of time. Remember, we're in a pandemic. We're working to pivot and prosper. We ain't working to be paralyzed. Paralysis of analysis is going to keep us stuck and broke all at the same time. And ain't nobody got time for that. So the second thing you must do in order to pivot and prosper in this pandemic is you must produce. You must produce. I'm telling y'all, and I know I can get a little rowdy with my words, but I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. I just ain't got time to be small talking with people who always hollering about what they finna do. Right. Well, this is what I'm thinking about doing. I just don't have time. What are you producing now? I would rather you wake up tomorrow and say, oh well, than you waking up every day saying, what if? What if I would have tried it? What if I would have packaged it? What if I would have called that person? What if I would have sent the email? What if? A lot of people are stuck in the paralysis of analysis with the what ifs of, what if they don't like me? What if they don't like it? What if it don't work? Who cares? It ain't working in your head. It ain't producing nothing in your head. Think about all them ideas we got in our head, ain't producing nothing. All it's producing is worry, it's producing stress, because you got all this stuff in your head that you're not actualizing in your life. If you're gonna pivot and prosper in this pandemic from an economic perspective, number one, you must package all the intellectual assets you have at your disposal. Package them all. Package them all. Let the marketplace tell you what they want and don't want. Let the marketplace tell you what's good and what ain't good. Because you all stuck on, well, it just need to be tweaked. I need to work on it. I need to figure this part out. And I don't know if that's the right color scheme. Who cares but you? The people in the market might not even care about that. Have you seen some of the clothes and some of the apparel that people sell? Have you seen some of the products that people sell? I'm talking about big products. They were just showing on a platform that I was looking at the other day. They were just showing Gucci. Gucci just came out with, I believe, these $1,500 distress. What do you call those things, daughter, that y'all wear?
The leggings.
No, they're like, is they pantyhose or something? I'm old school. I don't know the name of them.
They gotta be leggings.
No, these are like the sheer things that you put on under your dress.
Oh, they are pantyhose.
Okay, they pantyhose then. I ain't that crazy. Okay, but they were the distress ones, so they kind of like ripped.
Oh, okay.
$1,500. Man, Moan, let me get Google. Give me Google on your phone.
Devil is a lie.
I know I ain't making stuff up on live. How many of y'all seen that? Anybody that's listening to me, have y'all seen that?
Pantyhose.
Huh? Is this Google Moan? Oh yeah. Wow, your phone different.
It's updated. No.
Gucci.
It's updated. They ain't gonna say why your phone. Okay.
Let me make sure I'm right, daughter. Okay, no. Wait a minute.
You got it? That's weird.
Okay, so it says this came out one day ago. I just put up a random blog. It says fashion is officially dead. Shoppers mock Gucci for selling ripped tights.
Oh, tights.
So they're ripped tights. Okay, they're ripped tights. I think this is the one with the ripped tights. But then they got the Gucci embellished tights for $1,250. It's $1,250. Yeah, so they just came out with some distressed tights. These are $190. But my point in bringing it, okay, they rip tights. Naylor say they rip tights. Here you go. I know I wasn't crazy. I read it. I seen it on some platform I was on. So now why am I bringing that up? Gucci not scared to introduce something to the market. They go from idea, some weirdo had an idea to rip up tights and say, oh, people buy them because it's Gucci. Or just some people wanted to be distressed. Whatever the situation is, they didn't get caught in the paralysis of analysis because they understood if we gonna pivot in this pandemic, watch this, people going cray-cray anyway. So let's act as crazy as they is and see if somebody will bite. See if somebody will pull on this. See if somebody will jump on the hook. They'll throw a hook out there with no bait, and guess what most people do? Most people jump on it. Those are distress, they call them distress. But if you had some tights and they ripped because you was walking in the store or something, are you gonna go home and be like, oh my God, my tights are distressed? What you gonna say? Oh, I'm upset, they ripped.
Right.
But you see the wording, because they were willing to take an idea, package it.
That's good. That's so good.
They were willing to take an idea, package it, but not just package it, but produce it.
That's good.
But produce it. And some of you right now listening to me, you got ideas, you got concepts. You should put those ideas and concepts into the form of products and services and introduce them to the market. Let me and others in the market as consumers decide if what you got is something we want. Because if it's a hot mess and a half, we're going to tell you because we ain't going to buy it. You know how many things I've introduced to the marketplace and ain't nobody pay attention to? But who cares?
Right.
But the person who does. You just missed it. Let me say it again. I said, who cares? But the person who does. And the one person who does, guess what? Cares enough to exchange with me an idea that I packaged and produced. So the first thing you must do to pivot and prosper in a pandemic is you must package. Packaging involves development. You cannot be scared to engage in research and development. Number two, you must produce. Producing actually involves determination. I know I'm not the best at nothing, but guess what? I'm determined though. My determination has taken me way further than my skill has. My determination has taken me way further than my intelligence has. My determination has taken me way further than my networks and my contacts have. I am determined. I'm one determined joker. I'm determined to win. For real. I'm determined to win. I'm determined to make it. You see it every day, huh? My PA say she see it every day. She like you mess around, have me on top of a roof somewhere. The skyline. I'm gonna have her back there on the skyline on top of one of them buildings back here. I'm determined though. I'm determined to make something happen though. I'm determined to be something. I'm determined to help people. I'm determined to serve my community. I'm determined to leave a legacy. So my determination is involved in my producing. So if I'm gonna be determined, I gotta produce. If I'm gonna produce, I gotta be willing to package. That means I gotta get out of my own head and take those ideas and concepts and put them in the form of products and services, package them, introduce them to the marketplace, and let the marketplace decide what they want. Because it ain't even about what's good or bad for some people, because what's good for one person is not good for another person. What one person like, another person don't like. But I'm not gonna be in the rigmarole, in the minutia of trying to figure that out for somebody who's paying their money or who's giving me the attention. I'm gonna just put it out there and I'm gonna let the market decide what they like, what they don't like, what they hear and what they don't hear. So number three, the third thing you must do to pivot and prosper in a pandemic is you must practice. You must practice. So number one, you must package. Number two, you must produce. Number three, you must practice. What do you mean by practice, Prophet Ramon? What I mean by practice is you must implement daily habits of consistency. Here's the critical clause: by showing up. You got to show up. Put it to practice. You got to show up. And I'm not talking about showing up in your own head. You showing up for you, but you got to show up for everybody else. People got to see you. People got to hear from you. People got to know you. So you got products and services that you selling, and we see you every once in a while. You're not practicing. Because practice, even if it doesn't make, this finna help somebody right here. Practice, even if it doesn't make perfect, guess what? Makes sense. Ooh, did you hear that? Practice, even when it doesn't make perfect, makes sense though. It makes sense to practice. So we just went live. We on 4-5 different platforms. But guess what? If it works, it works. So we was having a glitch earlier, but who cares? Except the person who cared. Oh, look at this. It's flipping out. It's acting up. So what? Somebody else didn't care about that. We still showing up though. We still showing up though. So even when practice doesn't make perfect, practice still makes sense. So I'm willing to show up on live on 5 platforms at one time and make mistakes, but give the content from my heart that I know works for me and for the people that I coach or consult or provide products and services to. I'm willing to do that because guess what? I'm willing to understand that packaging involves development, producing involves determination, and watch this, practice involves discipline. Practice involves discipline. So you got to build the muscle. You got to build the muscle to show up until you get past the people who ain't paying attention to you.
I like that.
Yeah. I be laughing about how when the Lord told me for the first time in 2017, well, the end of 2016, that I needed to start engaging in social media. That was what I heard the Lord say to me, that you need to get out there more. You need to share your story more. You need to just know the world and let the world know you. But at the time, I didn't know enough about social media. So I did go live in day 1. I went live that first day in 2017. And a lot of people came on and we were just talking and engaging. And after that, I said, oh, you know what? It's going to be easier for me to just record like a minute clip and just do like these 1-minute clips. And so I had this weird idea in my mind that, you know what? I'm going to just record a 1-minute clip every day for the whole year of 2017. I did it. I recorded 300 and something clips, 1-minute clips for the whole year of 2017. But here's the problem. Here's the problem though. Nobody wanted to hear it. That was the problem. The market that I was exposed to really wasn't concerned about what I was saying. And so 300 and something 1-minute clips, I might have had like 8 views. You know, I did like 360 something clips with like 8 views, 5 views, 2 views, and 3 of those were me. Just going back on there, seeing how it looked. You know what I'm saying? So I got 8 hot views out of 300 some videos, and 3 of them me. 2 of them were my own. 1 was mom. She just going to see if I said everything right. So it was like, hey, you got to learn. In other words, you got to package, you got to produce, and you got to practice. I've always been willing to pivot, pandemic or not. Those of you that are listening to me, especially if you are the financiers of your family, especially if you are entrepreneurial in nature, especially if you already own a business or lead a ministry, or you are investing or anticipating any of the above, you have to know how to pivot and prosper in this pandemic. So the medical experts are making it very, very clear, y'all, that this quote unquote medical aspect of the pandemic could go into 2022. The economic aspect of this pandemic doesn't have to go into 2022 if in fact you know how to pivot and prosper. So what I'm saying to you is how you pivot is, number one, packaging all of your intellectual assets, all of your ideas, your knowledge and the concepts that you have, packaging them in the form of products and services so that you can at least introduce them to the market. That involves development. Number two, producing. You've got to take the idea, the concept, package it, and then you got to produce it by putting it into the marketplace. And the quicker you do it, the better off you're going to be. That involves determination, because you're going to have to push past a whole lot of people who going to ignore you, a whole lot of people who ain't going to pay no attention to you, a whole lot of people who going to laugh at you and hate on you and mock you and troll you. But you got to be more determined than that. And number three, you got to practice. You got to show up every day. I'm going to show up every day for certain things. You know why? Because I'm showing up for life. So if a challenge or a triumph comes throughout the course of a day, I'm going to show up for it. You know why? Because I showed up for life today. I showed up for life. And so whatever comes my way or whatever I come in the way of, I'm going to show up with all of me, because I'm showing up for my life. And practicing involves discipline. You got to build that muscle. Now, one of the best ways to build that muscle, for those of you that might not know, is for you to actually educate yourself and train yourself. Nobody becomes good at anything if they do not practice. Because practice, even if it doesn't make perfect, it makes sense. Some of the greatest athletes in the world, some of the greatest celebrities in the world, some of the greatest performers in the world, some of the greatest minds in the world didn't start out great. Guess what? They just started out disciplined. They were willing to show up every day and to learn, to train, to educate themselves, to be better informed so that they can become a better version of who they were and create a better version of what they had. And so many of you that are listening to me right now, you got to make that decision to educate and train yourself. And if you do not have the education and training at your disposal, here's where your boy come in at. We got business blueprints available right now. Some of you are already on our business blueprints, but for those of you who are not on our business blueprint programs and you want to have a faith-based, a biblical-based, a prophetic-based platform of training and development and learning and education for financial literacy, for entrepreneurship, for business ownership, for ministry leadership, for investments, we have that packaged in our business blueprint programs. These programs are made up of hundreds of training courses, all video based, me training you one-on-one. This is personal coaching and consulting at its highest level, because you can have access to it any time of the day. You can listen to me, you can be taught and trained and educated by me to learn everything that I've learned about financial literacy, about entrepreneurship, about business ownership, about ministry leadership, and about investing. So for those of you that need, not just want, but you need a business blueprint in your life, I want to challenge you right now. Right now. We're in the office right here, right now, on Friday. I'm challenging you right now to text the words, I'm ready. I'm ready, ready. I'm ready. Text the words, I'm ready, to 404-478-7213. 404-478-7213. Say it again. 404-478-7213. One more again. 404-478-7213. Text I'm ready to 404-478-7213. We're going to plug you in, get you in where you fit in so that you can get to your prophesied place. I love y'all. What an amazing Friday it has been. Some of y'all might have to go back and re-listen, re-watch, relearn what I just shared with you. But it's time to pivot and prosper in this pandemic. And again, Dr. Fauci and all of the medical experts, they're leaning towards really confirming that even with vaccinations for this coronavirus, we may very well still be in a pandemic mode medically into 2022. But it doesn't mean you got to be in a pandemic mode economically until 2022. My suggestion, my recommendation, my admonition, my prophetic radar that I'm raising up is you better not wait to 2021. You better do what you need to do in 2020. You better do what you need to do in 2020 to put yourself in the best position. And a lot of times, even the medical position we in has a lot to do with the economic position we in. Because if we ain't got money, if we don't have insurance, we can't really have the medical help that we access to that attention that we need. So that's my role as a prophet in this season, to help you get to your prophesied place, but to understand that you got to learn that. You got to develop in that. You got to put that to practice. So it starts out with you, number one, packaging all your products and services, introducing them to the market, producing. That means you are creating a level of determination that's unprecedented. You ain't letting no one or nothing stop you. And after you start producing, you put that thing to practice on a daily. We also put the link to our university platform on each description. So feel free to click those links and take a look at what our online training university has. Take a look at all of our business blueprints. And if you would like to, feel free to text me. I'm ready right now at 404-478-7213. I love y'all. Thank you, Naylor. Naylor on IG says, continual blessings to you beyond measure in all areas of your life and the lives you influence. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. I love you. I love you, brother. Appreciate you. All of my IG family members and friends, I love y'all. All of my Facebook family members and friends, I love y'all. All of my YouTube, Periscope, LinkedIn family members and friends, I love you too. Ryan say, who you? Ryan say, who you? I'm Prophet Ramonepreston, President and CEO of Ramonepreston Enterprises and Ramonepreston University and RP Consulting Group. As a matter of fact, you can go to Ramonepreston.com, Ryan, and take a look at my website to see all of what it is that I do and who I am. But that's who I am. I'm a prophet in ministry, and I'm a prophetic business owner in the marketplace. And I have an assignment in this season to bring not just prophetic breakthrough and deliverance, but to bring economic breakthrough and deliverance, particularly to those who are in the faith community. Of course, anybody that's not in the faith community has the freedom and the flexibility to connect with me on any level. But more specifically, that's been my assignment as a prophet in full-time ministry for 20 years and as a prophetic entrepreneur and business owner for the last 18 years. I actually got fired from my last job 18 years ago. This month, 18 years ago, in October of 2001. That's 18 years ago, right? Or was that 19 years ago? I don't know. But anyway, ever since that time that I was fired from my last job, I was actually a full-time preacher at that point and a active prophet in the church at that point. But since that time, I have made it my life's calling, my life's assignment to not only bring ministry and marketplace leadership together, but I made a promise to myself and to God and to my family that once I was in a financial and economic position of stability for me and for my family, that I would build a platform that would actually house the training that was needed and necessary for people like myself in the faith community who wanted to be used by God in ministry, but who also wanted to get out there and make something happen for themselves in the marketplace. And so that's where we birthed Ramonepreston University, which is an online training platform, the #1 platform for ministry and for marketplace training. And as a result of birthing Ramonepreston University, I'm just answering a question somebody asked who I am. As a result of birthing Ramonepreston University, we created a training program called Business Blueprints, which makes up the most important aspects of economics, which are financial literacy, entrepreneurship, business ownership, and investments. These are aspects that we train in our business blueprints, but these are actually aspects that my wife and I and our organizational enterprise lives by, because that's the heart of our consulting group. It's the heart of my personal coaching programs. It's what we give to the clients that we have serviced and served for the past 18 years. So that's who I am. And that's what I do. Thank you for asking, my friend. Hopefully we can provide some value to you, whether it's in ministry or the marketplace. Feel free to go to Ramonepreston.com. That's the main hub of our organizational enterprise, and all of the other divisions and subsidiaries and affiliates are connected to that website. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all so much. I hope you enjoyed this Friday Live today. Thank y'all so much. Oh my God, I almost forgot. Next Saturday, right here in the Buckhead boardroom at our headquarters, next Saturday, November the 7th at 1:00 p.m., I'm hosting another business boot camp. So for those of you that need to participate in an in-person deep dive to learn some amazing things about entrepreneurship, finances, economics, business ownership, holding companies, research and development, the digitization of social media, and all things that make up biblical economics. For those of you that need to learn those things, I want you to purchase your business blueprint, because these business boot camps that we are hosting, which is what we're going to be hosting next Saturday here in Buckhead at 1:00, November 7th at 1:00. These business boot camps are not open to the public. They are exclusively for blueprint clients, which means when you purchase a business blueprint, that purchase is actually your VIP pass to come to one of our boot camps. Even if it's not this boot camp, we will put you on a VIP RSVP list so that when we're in or around your area, you will actually have a free VIP pass to that boot camp. So that's Saturday, November the 7th, 1:00 p.m. Woo, it's going to be an amazing boot camp. And then on Tuesday, November the 10th, and Wednesday, November the 11th, we're going to be in Port St. Lucie, y'all, Florida. That's that Georgia swag. Port St. Lucie, Florida. We're going to be in Port St. Lucie, Florida, y'all, November the 10th and November the 11th for our 2-day Blueprint Tour. We're hosting a Blueprint Tour. This is actually our first Blueprint Tour outside of Metro Atlanta. And Tuesday, November the 10th, 7:00 p.m., we'll be hosting day 1 of our Blueprint Tour, which is going to be a one-night prophetic revival. I'm going to be preaching. I'm going to be praying. I'm going to be prophesying and ministering the word of the Lord over the people of God that are there. And then Wednesday, November the 11th, at 10:00 a.m., I'm hosting a prophetic business boot camp in Port St. Lucie, Florida. So if you are in or around Port St. Lucie, Florida, or if you plan on being there, even if it's just for the revival, please prayerfully consider purchasing a business blueprint so that you can be one of my exclusive VIP RSVP guests at our business boot camp. If you have any questions, please feel free to text. What, daughter? Text what? I'm ready. 404 478 7213. I dare you to text I'm ready. and really be ready. Don't just text I'm ready and don't be ready.
Right.
I love y'all.
I'm saying love you back.
Thank you. Nayla, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Love you. I love y'all. How my YouTube family doing? I didn't even get a chance to see them. Huh? They busy?
Yeah.
You got them up? Let me see. Did we get any activity? All y'all that have not been to YouTube to follow me, please help me, my cameraman, my social media manager, my content creator, my son, my namesake, my whole team. Please help us. Help us get to a thou wow on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/Ramonepreston, or just go to YouTube and type in the search Ramonepreston. And please hit that button and subscribe. Subscribe to your boy's YouTube page. We almost at 1,000, y'all. Because one day when we at 1 million, they're going to be like, oh, I'm a part of that. No, you should. Back then you didn't want me. Now we hot. They all up on us. You should have been up on us when we wasn't hot. When we ain't have a milli. Because we get a milli, we going to be funny acting then.
What you think?
I love y'all. All right. We getting ready to go. Hey, Casey, how you doing? Love you too, Lula. I love you. This is Facebook here saying I love y'all. I love y'all too. I love you too. Appreciate you. No, we're not deleting this video. Share. Ramon, what do I do? Share it to IGTV? That video we just did? Y'all have an amazing, it's 51 minutes here. It's showing 51 minutes on mine. So we did good today. We did good. I love y'all. I love y'all. Appreciate you. All right, we're going to end this. Tell Lolly Dolly, everybody.